that we covered between 1 to 1 and many to 1. After completing this, I'll upload these programs like any doubts that you have between 1 to 1 and many to 1 we covered. Any doubts? Yeah, same. It will be same for any Oracle or anything, MySQL or anything. It will be same. Right? So now let us now complete this relation. Book to reviews, which is 1 to many. Oracle, yeah, same actually, because I don't have Oracle database in my system. Okay, that's why I'm using MySQL. It is same actually, Oracle or MySQL. Only thing here you have to change is, here you have to change, instead of MySQL dialect, you have to use Oracle dialect. That is one thing. And in form.xml, instead of MySQL, you need to use Oracle. And here you have to change this URL, 3 places. Okay, 3 places you have to change. This place you have to change. Okay, at the connection URL place you have to change. At the dialect place you have to change. Right? These 2 places. And in form.xml, you need to change at this place. Right? That's all. Now, let us now do this now. Okay, 1 to 1. Next two examples, I don't have Oracle database. That is the why. I don't have Oracle. Right? See, anything is same. As I was telling, right? No difference actually. See, only thing you have to change is instead of MySQL dependency here, you have to use Oracle dependency here in pom.xml. And in configuration, you have to change this place and this place. These two places, sorry. Both the driver class, you have to change. Okay. These two places, dialect, this place. Okay. So this is one place. Then you have to use this one. Right? So in Hibernate cfg.xml, you have to use this Hibernate.cfg.xml. You need to use this. I mean, need to replace these three with Oracle related. And then in pom.xml, so need to replace this dependency. Oracle dependency. Right? Right, that's all. Now let us now do this one-to-many now. Book and reviews, right? Now we have table for author. We have table for author details table. Right? Let me take this. Now we have author details table and this one. Now we'll see now reviews. Now we'll see reviews actually. So okay. So now what we'll have in review is we'll create one review table now. Review table. Right. In this we have review ID. Next is review comment. Now you see. Now one book will have multiple reviews, right? Say for example, this is your review ID. Next I'll have review comment. And then I'll have now you see one book will have multiple reviews. That means, for example, this book ID 1, okay? The same book ID 1, the same book ID 1, the same book ID 1 will can have two reviews. Can have two reviews like It is a good book. Okay, average book. Okay. So 1, 2. This is your review ID. This is your review ID 1, 2, and so this is your review ID 1, 2, and for this review ID, I mean the same book is having 2 reviews. That's why if you see here, from book to review, it is 1 too many. Why? One book. See, this is your book table. One book is having multiple reviews. So these are 1 too many. One book is having multiple reviews. Now you might ask this question, why book ID is put in this table? Why can't we have, already we have book ID here, why can't we have review ID here? You can think like this. See, book table is having, what are the attributes? Book table is having ID, title, author ID. So review table is having ID, comments, book underscore ID. Right? Now, this what is this ID? This ID is your book ID, which is your primary key. Primary key. What is this ID? This ID is your review ID. This is your primary key. Right? Now, we need to map these two tables. So there should be a column, common column between this. Right? Either, that means one book is having multiple reviews. Either this table should have review ID. Right? Or this table should have the book ID. So this table should have this ID here, or this table should have this ID. This ID. So some common, see, then only we can link these two tables. That means the primary key of this table should be present here as one column, or the primary key of this table should be present as one column here. Suppose if you put review ID here, what will happen is, suppose if you put review ID here, suppose if I put review ID here, then I will have now author ID, right? Next is a title. Next is ID. This is your book ID. Now for the same book, say 1, you will have one review, say 1. This is your review ID. Now for the same book, you can have 2 reviews, right? For the same book, you can have 2 reviews. Some people will tell it is a good book. Some people will tell it is an average book like that. Now, if I do like this will be wrong actually. Why? Because this is your primary key. So this is your primary key. This is book ID primary key. And what is happening? the same book is getting repeated, you cannot do. So that means primary key means if one value is occurring in one record, that should not repeat again here. That's why you cannot do this. What is the other way? That means you cannot do this. What is the other way? You should keep the book ID here. That means whatever the primary key that is present here, that should be part of this. Now, if I put book ID here, now this can be repeated because here this is not the primary key. This is not the primary key. This is the primary key. Your review ID is the primary key. Review ID is primary key. Okay. And this book ID can be a foreign key. So this is a foreign key mapping to primary key of book table. Okay, foreign key mapping to the primary key ID of book table. Foreign key can be repeated. Okay, foreign key value can be repeated across the rows, but primary key value should not be repeated. So now that's why book ID is kept here. So instead of keeping review ID here, we keep book ID here. So that's why now you see this is one too many. One book is having multiple reviews. See, this book 1 is having review ID 2. Like that, book 2 also will have this one. And where we'll link these two? This is your join column. Right? Everyone understood? Everyone understood, right? This one? Any doubts here? Right. Now let us create this review table, which is your database book application, right? Okay. Okay, so what is a DB? Use book application. Show tables. So I have now author details, book. Now let me now create review table. So what I'll do is I'll take one table, create table. I'll say book. Right? Let me take this table and change it. Here I'll say review. Okay, ID not null. Then I'll say comment, review comment, right? Okay, comment, I'll give some more because the comment will be lengthier comment. And then book ID. Right? And then I'll say primary key of ID. Then I'll say book review. Then book ID will be your foreign key. So book ID will be your foreign key. That will be mapping to the book table of ID. That's all. So let me create this table. Okay, review table got created. Right? So now let me now go to the program. So what I'll do, I'll create the review table. So new class review table. Okay, so here I'll give @entity. Now I'll say @table name equal to review. Right? This is the table, right? Right. So now what are the columns of review table? ID, comment, book ID. Okay, let me do. So I'll say ID. Then I'll say comment. Now, what I'll do is ID. I'll say column name equal to ID. And then I'll say column name equal to comment. Okay. Right. Right. So right. So what I'll do is now right. Let me do one thing now. I think that's all. These two are enough now. Right. Yeah, these two are enough. You might now ask where this will be put. Yeah. Are you audible now? You are audible now? Yeah. See, what I'm telling is, I have these two columns. But you might ask a question where this foreign key column will be put. Just wait, okay? I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Now, this is bit tricky scenario. You have to follow this. Now, in my book table, see, so just follow this carefully. I'll be telling you this. This is a bit tricky scenario. In interviews also, this question is very important question. They will be asking. In book table, what I'll do is, I will add one property, which is one book is having multiple reviews, right? So what I'll do is I'll add private list of, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Yeah, sorry, I got a call. Sorry. See, now I'll say from book I have to go. Here you see here, 1 to many means from this direction. This direction I have to go. That means from book to review I have to go actually. So one book is having multiple reviews, right? One book is having multiple reviews. So I say list reviews. Okay. Next I'll generate setters and getters for this. Okay. And here I will tell 1 to many. 1 to many. Right? And here I'll say join column, right? Name is equal to book underscore ID. That is what here, I'll tell you why. Just follow this. I'll compare now, you see here. Let us take now like this. In 1 to 1, when we have seen, let us take 1 to 1. In 1 to 1 relation, 1 to 1 association, what we have? We have book table, sorry, author table. Author is associated with author details, right? Author from the DB perspective. These are your tables, I'll tell you. Tables are author is associated with author underscore details. This is 1 to 1. 1 to 1, right? Just see here. Author is associated with author details. If I go here, your author, now you see, your author contains author details ID, right? Okay. So in this, what is your foreign key? Foreign key is your author details ID, right? Your foreign key is author details ID. Author underscore details underscore ID, which is your foreign key. Now that is part of this table. That is part of this table. And now this maps to the author details ID or ID. We can say ID of author details table, which is your primary key. Primary key of author details table, right? That's what you have seen. If you see here, if you see, this is your foreign key, this is mapping to this. Or I'll do like this. Let me draw in diagram so that will be clear. So what I'll do is, see, you should understand these associations properly so that even after 10 years also, you should not forget this. So this is your author. So these are author details. Right? And this is your author ID primary key. Okay, I'll have I'll put only two columns. Okay, primary key, I'll not put other columns. Author ID primary key. This is your primary key. Author ID primary key or ID, which is your primary key. Right? And then author underscore details underscore ID, which is your foreign key. Author underscore details underscore ID, which is your foreign key. Now, this is mapping to the author details ID, which is your primary key. Okay. And what is association between these two? This is one-to-one association. And it is in this direction. This is in this direction. Now, from Java perspective, if I do from Java, how I'll do? This is my author. This is your author class. Right? Right? Now, I have this join column. Okay. Now this, okay. Now this points to, okay, this points to, okay, this points to this column. So here, join column points to the foreign key of author table. So where your join column is present? In the author table. So this points to the foreign key of this. That means I'm going from author to author details. So I'm going in this from author to author details. So this is your join column. So based on this value only, I can go here and fetch the data. That's why this is called join column. So this points to here. Remember. Now let us now take many to one association. Many to one association. So in many to one association, what are the tables I have? Book and author, right? So let me put the tables. Book. Okay. So now let me now take book. So what is a primary key? This is the primary key, right? So your ID is the primary key. That is a book ID. ID is the primary key. And what is your foreign key? Author ID. Author ID is your foreign key. Right? Now this is many to associate, many to one. That means there is an association between these two, which is many books are pointing to one author. This is your many to one association. Many to one association. And here, this is pointing to the author. Many to one association. This is pointing to the your author table, which is your ID, which is your primary key. Now, from the Java perspective, if you take, now this is your class book. Right? So many to one, that means this one. Right? Now you see, now this column points to this. So join column points to foreign key of book table. Right. Now, why? Because if you see here, from book, I want to go to author. So from book, if I know this join column value, I can go here and fetch the author details. So that's why this is your join column. In both the same thing. Okay. In whichever class I put, so in author class, I have this join column, and whatever that column value, that is part of this class or part of this table. Similarly, here also, if you see, in book class, I have this join column, and this column value is part of this class only. That is part of this table. Here and clear, right, with this? Now we'll see one-to-many association. Here we'll see one-to-many association. So now I have tables. So one-to-many is what? One book, many reviews, right? Right. So let me do like this. So one book, many reviews. That means I have book table. Now here I have ID primary key. Now I have ID primary key. And this is pointing to the, okay, this is pointing to the, okay, let me do like this. Now I have a review table. Now I have ID primary key. This is your review ID. And then I have book ID, which is your foreign key. Foreign key. Right? Now this is pointing to this. Sorry, we can say like this. So this is pointing to the here. Right? But the association is this one. 1 to many. The association will go from this direction. 1 to many. Now, if you see the scenarios, from where the association starts, from here it is going to here. Wherever the association starts, there the foreign key is there. Remember, from here the association starts and goes to here. 1 to 1. So from wherever the association starts, the foreign key is there here. Many to 1. From here the association starts, goes to here. The foreign key is there here. But here, the association starts from here to here. The association starts from here to here. But the foreign key is here, the opposite side. In all the sides, from wherever the association starts, the foreign key is there at the starting place. That means here. From here, the association starts. If you see the arrow, it is going in this direction. The foreign key is there here. Here, the association starts, the foreign key is there here. But here, the association starts here, goes in this, but the foreign key is this side, not this side. This side. Why I told you, right? If I put the review ID here, it will not violate. It will go in this way. This is wrong. I cannot do like this. So I have to put book ID here. If I put here, because one book can have multiple reviews. So review 1, review 2 for book ID 1 repeated. So this is a primary key where you should not repeat it. So this is wrong. So that's why we put book ID here. Right? You understood the difference, right? Here and here. Wherever the association starts, there the foreign key is there. But here it is not like this. The association starts here, the foreign key is present here. Now, from the class level, we'll see now. So definitely from book, I have to go to review. That means in book, I should have this review. So let me take this book class. Right? Now here I'll say 1 to many. Okay, here I'll say now you see here. Now this represents, okay. So this represents, okay, in 1 to many. So this represents the join. So this join column represents the foreign key of review table. Foreign key of review table. In all the scenarios, that is pointing to this only. But here, it is pointing in this direction. That is what tricky part. Finally, what I want to tell you is, whatever the value that is specified in join column, that is the foreign key of that association. Remember, foreign key of that association. In this association, what is a foreign key? Irrespective of the table that you put. So, okay. So here the foreign key is here, so that you put here. In this association, what is your foreign key? This author ID, so that you put here. In this association, what you put, though the association starts from here, but the foreign key is here. So that will be foreign key of this review table. Everyone understood? So that is what the difference between this one to many. See this one. Everyone understood? I guess join will take only the foreign key as the argument. So join column means it is the foreign key of that association. In this association, this is the foreign key. In this association, this is the foreign key. And in this association, this is the foreign key. So join column represents the foreign key of that association. Everyone understood? Right? So that's all. See, if you know this diagram, right, you can remember for 10 years also. You can design any data model like this. Right? So let me now, right. So what I'll do is now, let me take in my app.java. I'll have one more review, save reviews. Save book reviews. Right? So I'll write a method here. Private void save book reviews. Here I'll create this. Now we'll add book.class. Okay. And then review.class also. Right. See, now I have to add all this because book is related to author. Author is related to author details. And book is related to review. All are interlinked. Now what I'll do is, I'll say book equal to session dot get of, right? So I'll get the book like this. So how I'm doing? So get of book dot class. Which book I have in my database? I give reviews that. Select star from book. So I'll say I'll give review for this programming in Java. So I'll get 1 here. So I'll pass this book ID 1. If I pass this one, I'll get this book. Now what I'll do is I'll create one review object, or okay, review is equal to new review. I say review dot set ID of, this is your review ID, review dot set of comment. I'll give good book. Okay. I'll create one more review. I'll just say set ID of 2. I'll say above average. Right. Now what I do now, I create a list of review. I'll say reviews is equal to new array list. Because your book takes a list of reviews. See here. One book is having multiple reviews, right? That's why it is taking list. One book is having multiple reviews. So what I'll do, I'll just say new array list. Then I'll say reviews dot add of Okay. Let me take review 1. So reviews dot add of review. Reviews dot add of review 1. Right? Then what I'll say is book dot set reviews. I'll pass this reviews. Then I'll say session dot save of review. Okay, for book I don't need to save because already it is. I can do book save book also, not an issue. Session dot save of book. Okay, but already it is saved, so I don't need to save again. Right. So I'll change this compiler properties, Java build path. I'll remove this. I'll use JDK 1.8, Java compiler. I'll change this to 1.8. Right. So I don't need to save book because already the book is saved with this one. Okay. Only thing is I'm updating the release, automatically it will update. Or I can use this also, not an issue. Let me save of book. Right. Session date save of, I'll say. And then I'll say session dot get transaction dot commit. That's all. So for this book, I have given 2 reviews. Review ID 1, review ID 2. Now let me run this program. Something has given. So something happened. So what I'll do. So what I'll do. So it is right. I don't need actually this one. Let me. Book parameters are empty because I'm anyhow getting the book, right? So just 1 minute. Okay. Batch update actual row count 0 expected update review set book ID equal to ID equal to. Session dot book of class review book dot set reviews of reviews session dot save of. Let me do like this 1 minute. Run as Java application. Something is happening. Batch admit returned unexit row count from update. Actual row count expected 1. Why? Just 1 minute. system dot out dot println book ID, book I title. I'll say book dot get title. So let me run this. Book title I got programming in Java. Fine. This got printed. Next is okay. Okay, what I'll do is just one thing I'll do. What I'll do is I'll do one thing here. Okay, just I'll tell you what I'm doing. Here I'll say 1 to many. Here I'll say fetch is equal to fetch type dot lazy. I'll explain you what is this I'm doing. And cascade is equal to cascade type dot on. Okay, this is what I'll do. And here, that's all. See, just I have put these two things. I'll explain what I have put this one, these two. I'll tell you what is this, okay? So now I'll run this program now. Yeah, I think now it got inserted. See, now I'll say select star from review. Okay. So book ID 1, book ID 1. For the same book, I got 2 reviews. From review table, for the same book ID, I got 2 reviews. Good book, above average. I'll tell you what is this, okay? So, see, basically I prepared one notes. I'll share you that notes explaining what is this fetch types. I prepared one PPT. Okay. So tomorrow I'll show you that PPT. So there I'll tell you what is this fetch type, cascade type, and all that. Okay. For now, you can think like now with this is working. It is working. But what is this fetch type and why we have to put this one? What is the need for this? I'll tell you. Okay. Any doubts till now other than this part? Other than this part, any doubts? Any doubts on this join column concept? Okay. See what I did is I'll tell you. I created one notes on all this fetch type, cascade type, and all this. So what is this fetch type and yeah, in the real-time projects we use all this. Yes. In the real-time projects we use all this. Okay, I'll tell you what is this fetch type lazy. Spring Boot and Hibernate 30 days. Huh? Spring Boot and Hibernate So Spring Boot and Hibernate, you can learn in not in 30 days. It will be a bit difficult. It will be very speed actually. You need to have at least 60 days. But 30 days, try to increase hours. Try to increase hours and try to learn. Okay. Okay, so I'll explain you this, what is fetch type lazy and all that. See, I'll explain you first this fetch type lazy now. See, basically in Hibernate, or think like this, in Hibernate, you want me to explain this fetch type now or tomorrow? Hibernate fetch types. There are two types, eager and lazy. Eager and lazy. There are two fetch types. Okay, whatever I put here is lazy. Okay, I'll give the definitions. Tomorrow I'll explain it. Okay. Whenever the owner entity is fetched, the child entity is also fetched at the same time. Fetched at the same time from database. Right? So lazy means whenever the owner entity is fetched, the child entity is not fetched at the same time from database. Okay. So that means, for example, let me think like this. Now, okay, let us think like this. Say, for example, now let us take this one only. Class book, right? Class book, and then I give this one. Okay. Suppose I don't give anything this one. I'll tell you this cascade, what is that? First we'll see. Suppose I don't give anything this one. By default, if I don't specify anything, by default, that is a eager fetch type. If I don't specify anything this one, that means by default, it will consider as eager. So by default, okay. So this is your eager fetching. You know what will happen now? If you see here, which is your owner entity? Book is your owner entity. When the owner entity is fetched, your book is owner entity. Okay. So here book is owner entity. Book is owner entity. Okay. And the child entity is review. That means because book contains review, right? So in book review is there. So child is review. Now, when book is fetched from database, review also is fetched from database at same time, right? See, for example, here I have done this scenario. See, I'm fetching the book from the database. So here fetching the book from database. So review also is loaded at the same time. Fetching the book from database, review also is loaded at the same time. Now here, we don't have review, right? We are trying to provide a new review now. Actually, we don't have review for this book at all, for this book ID. Now we are trying to provide the review. So since there is no review, when this book is reading, that's why you got error. You got error. There is no review. You are providing a new review actually. So that is the reason. That is the reason this was failing actually. So that is the reason this was failing. Okay, now suppose if I have like this now. Now suppose if I have like this. And now I have put now this one. Okay. Now I say, now I put like this. Now, what will happen now? Now, when the owner entity is fetched, the child it is not fetched at the same time from database. Now I do like this in my program. Session.get book of this. Now what will happen now? The book is fetched from database. From database. Now review is not fetched. Because we are trying to give a new review. Here, since review is not there, it is trying to fetch. That's why you're getting error. But here, review is not fetched here. Because of lazy fetch. And thereby the issue, and thereby if review is not present in the database, and okay, so you can do like this because of lazy fetch. Okay, in case here, if review details are not present, in case if review details are not present, you will get an error. Or not present, you get error. But here, even if in review details are not present, you will not get error because whenever you are loading the book, review is not fetched. If the review details are not present, if review details are not present, no error because when book is loaded, review is not loaded. Everyone understood this? Okay. I'll tell you this cascade all, what this cascade all does. I'll tell you what this cascade all does. That is a different topic, but you understood first step, lazy and eager, right? Okay, since review details are not present in the database, it is an empty table. That's why you got error. Okay, so we'll see tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll see some more scenarios and we have to see this many to many also. Your many to many. All right then. Any questions? Everyone clear with today's concepts and all? Okay then. Okay then, see you tomorrow then. Okay, I'll upload the notes today. Okay, I'll upload the notes today. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Thank you all.